The Mandalorian Chapter 7 is here, and it is so good. Let's talk about it.
It's like the news, but for nerds.
What's up, everybody? It's Josh, and yes, The Mandalorian Chapter 7 was absolutely insane, and I want to talk about that, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about a little bit of the reviews coming out for The Rise of Skywalker. In fact, the way that videos are going to work on the channel in the next couple of days here is that I'm going to do this video right now, talking about Mandalorian, which is really awesome, and then I'm going to talk about the reviews, probably drop that video later today, and that is not going to be the most pleasant of videos, because, you know, I'm still trying to remain positive and optimistic as I go in to see the movie, but the reviews for that film are way worse than anybody thought they were going to be. Except maybe Disney, because it kind of feels like they put out The Mandalorian Chapter 7 today to try to have some positivity out there online with regards to Star Wars, because they may have anticipated getting bad reviews, or at least mixed reviews, today when the embargo lifts. And so you can see some of that Disney magic maybe happening behind the scenes. And then, of course, Thursday night, we will be talking about The Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be our spoiler stream, midnight Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be really exciting. I'm actually excited for that stream. It's going to be rated R. Don't bring your kids, and we're going to get into it. It's going to be crazy. But anyways, Mandalorian Chapter 7. Holy cow, this is the Mandalorian I've been looking for. You guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I've been sort of critical of the last few episodes of The Mandalorian, because although they're great and the show's great and I'm completely on board, this is all B-plot stuff. I want to know what's going on with the A-plot, and specifically because there's only 8 episodes, I was like, wow, when are we going to get going here? And I'm happy to say we got going. We got right back to that A-plot, and we got a lot of sprinklings from the B-plots. We get the Cara Dune character, who we meet in one of these episodes that was seemingly filler, and we bring her back into the fold. We get our favorite Nick Nolte Ugnaught Quinn. I forget the Q something. We get IG-11 back, and he's reprogrammed, and that sort of sets him up to not only do something in maybe the last episode, but to do something in the future season. And so I will say bravo to the show for bringing it home, taking these characters back. It really does feel like a complete show. I'm still not crazy about the length. I'm still not crazy about the pacing and the fact that we're only getting 8, but I will give the show credit where credit is due. This was an incredible episode that really did tie everything together. Now, again, I want to just talk about Deborah Chow, because she's amazing. This woman needs to be given the next Star Wars movie as a director. What she does on the screen with Star Wars is incredible. It's some of my favorite stuff I've seen in live action for Star Wars ever. She has perfect sensibilities for this world. She needs to be directing a Star Wars movie. I'm just putting that out there. This episode was incredible. Episode 3 is also incredible. We get something the show has been missing thus far, but really will be the bedrock of the drama and the tension in the show. At least I hope so, and that would be a little bit of the dark side. In this terrific scene where Cara Dune and the Mandalorian are arm wrestling, Baby Yoda looks up and sees that Mando, his father figure, is struggling against this woman, and he literally force chokes the crap out of her. Now, in and of itself, this scene is amazing, but what it introduces is the idea of the dark side. The fact that this little Baby Yoda is so strong with the Force is not just inherently a good thing. There is the possibility that he falls to the dark side, and if we grow up with this character over the next couple of seasons in the same way that we did with Ezra, in the same way that we did with Ahsoka, it's going to be interesting to see how this character deals with light versus dark. That morality is the bedrock of all great Star Wars stories and the arcs of all great Star Wars characters, and so it's beautiful to see that introduced in the show in the way that they did. The back half of the show is so cool because it somehow sets up that big oppressive imperial representation on this planet. The fact that there's all of these Imperials here is really cool. It gives you that classic Star Wars feeling. I love their plan to get in there with the Mandalorian as a prisoner, and of course the way it all goes down in that cantina where the other Imperials, the real big bosses, come in and wipe everybody out. I mean, when I saw the Death Troopers, I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. The way all those troopers come in, and then, yes, leading up to the fact that one of our favorite characters falls trying to accomplish something and save Baby Yoda at the end. Very well done. The Empire now has Baby Yoda, and we're left with a cliffhanger. And that's incredible. Like, the anticipation that I have for this next episode is amazing. Next week cannot get here soon enough. This is great. And I really do hope that the show can at least realize what are the best parts of it and try to replicate those moving forward. Because, look, I love this show, but I would love for it to get even better in season 2. And also, as I've sort of been harping on, this is a longer episode, clocking in, I believe, 38 minutes of total episode here. And again, it all gets served. There's no wasted time in this show. I don't understand why other episodes were so short, but I really hope that next season we spread that out. Can we get towards 40 minutes per episode? I want to be in this world as much as possible, Disney. So this being the beginning of a two-parter for the ending and leaving on such a cliffhanger, it's really hard to judge it in isolation. I still might like episode 3 more personally, and of course episode 6 was really great as well. So look, the majority of these episodes are rock solid amazing. This is a real big win for Star Wars, but again, it's really hard not to talk about this in the context of it coming out on a day when we have a Star Wars movie coming out with such a low Rotten Tomatoes score. I mean, the score is changing right now, but this might be literally the lowest rated Star Wars movie when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes. And they did a little scene at the end, a little preview at the end of Mando for The Rise of Skywalker, and it's just the scene with Finn and Poe. And although the scene is great, and I really enjoyed it, it really just kind of teases what could have been in this trilogy had they put those two characters together more. And yes, I am talking about what happened in The Last Jedi. But again, we'll get more into that. I'm going to talk about the reviews a little bit more in depth later today, and that's the last video. We're going radio silent until midnight tomorrow Eastern Standard Time, where we will be going all in on a big spoiler stream. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Whether we like this movie or whether the majority of us don't like this movie, tomorrow's stream is going to be really fun. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And honestly, you know, even when I did the stream yesterday, even though I thought it was pretty benign, and a lot of us have been having these conversations for months, and I guess in some ways there were people out there that really didn't believe the leaks were real. And God bless your naive little hearts. And the thing is, I was operating under the impression that everybody had realized that they were real. And in a sense, having that conversation I wanted to have yesterday was just too early. And maybe it did spoil stuff for people. I don't think it did. I really don't. Stay off YouTube if you're not looking for spoilers at this point, right? But I can appreciate where people are at, so that's why I took that stream down. But I'm telling you right now, Thursday's stream is going to be like the Wild West. It is going to be like Mos Eisley. It's going to be insane. So I hope you're there. And now let's shout out Fat Mike SP1. Indeed, the horned guy in Mando Chapter 6 is a Deveronian. So shout out to you, Fat Mike. And now let's check the nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know, what is the name of the planet where Episode 7's finale and cliffhanger takes place in? I'm talking about The Mandalorian, this planet with all the bounty hunters. What's the name of that planet? Answer that question in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.